The day unfolded like any other, calm and ordinary, yet an uneasy feeling tugged at the edges of my mind. I brushed it off as nerves. It was a big day. After all, Lisa's sister was getting married, and her entire family had gathered at a breathtaking countryside estate. The garden stretched out like something from a painting, in full bloom, with sunlight spilling gently through the trees like golden silk. Everything seemed flawless, wrapped in a soft, dreamlike glow. Guests arrived in elegant attire, their laughter weaving into the warm afternoon air. The atmosphere buzzed with joy and anticipation. Lisa looked stunning in a deep burgundy dress that clung just right, her curls tumbling perfectly over her shoulders. She smiled easily for photos, posed gracefully beside me, and greeted relatives with charm and grace. I tried to shake off the nagging unease gnawing at me and told myself to be present, to enjoy the celebration. The ceremony itself was moving, poetic, even. Lisa's sister glided down the aisle, radiant and glowing with love. Her vows stirred something real in everyone, even those trying to blink back tears discreetly. It was beautiful, sincere. For a while, I forgot the odd feeling in my chest. As the sun dipped behind the trees, the reception began inside a grand hall where chandeliers bathed the room in a golden shimmer. Tables dressed in white linen were adorned with roses and flickering candles. Jazz music danced softly in the background, mingling with the sounds of clinking glasses and carefree laughter. People swayed to the rhythm, lost in joy. I tried to follow suit, to let the evening carry me, to smile and laugh and belong. But then I noticed something in Lisa. A shift, subtle but sharp, a glance at her phone too often, a few moments spent outside alone, the way her fingers moved swiftly over the screen. I told myself not to read into it. Weddings are overwhelming. Maybe she needed space. And then I saw them. Across the room, near the dimly lit bar, she stood with a man I didn't recognize. His posture was too relaxed, his smile too familiar, like someone who belonged. I watched closely, searching for innocence in their interaction, trying desperately to believe I was overthinking. But her body language betrayed her. The way she leaned in, the touch of her hand on his arm, it wasn't casual. It wasn't distant. It was intimate. I froze. I hoped I was misreading the moment, that maybe I was letting insecurities get the better of me. But then he leaned in and whispered something. She laughed, a soft, bright laugh, one I hadn't heard in so long, a sound that once belonged to us. But it wasn't mine anymore. I felt in my gut that laugh was meant for him. And suddenly, everything made sense. All the late nights she said she needed space, the abrupt mood changes, the distant eyes, the missed dinners, the excuses. They weren't random. They were pieces of a puzzle, and the full picture shattered me. I stood there, unable to move, the truth pressing down on me like a weight. 1,000 thoughts screamed through my mind. Should I confront her? Should I demand an explanation right there amidst the fairy lights and violins? But then something deeper, something tired, spoke louder. A part of me already worn raw by doubt and silence. And I knew no confrontation would fix what I had just seen. Then came the moment I couldn't unsee. He kissed her. Quick, but real. Her lips didn't resist. That was it. The illusion was over. I turned and walked out without a word. The night air was cool, brushing against my skin like a wake-up call. The garden, so lively before, now lay still. I wandered through it, numb, until I pulled out my phone and called the only person who made sense, my best friend. I just needed to hear a voice that didn't lie. The drive home passed in a blur, but the images were burned into my memory. The way he touched her, her smile, that kiss, over and over. When I got home, I didn't hesitate. I packed what I needed, just the essentials. No theatrics, no drawn-out letters. I left her a message with 3 words. I'm done. Final. Unmistakable. The days that followed were quiet. I didn't return her calls. I didn't read the texts. I refused to reopen a wound already so raw. And then, days later, she appeared at my door. Her face was pale, streaked with tears. She stood there, clutching flowers like they could undo the damage. Her voice trembled as she apologized, said she was confused, claimed it meant nothing, insisted she still loved me. I listened, but my silence wasn't weakness. It was clarity. She hadn't just broken my heart. She'd shattered every promise, every thread of trust we had spun between us. And love without trust is nothing but a shell. I told her that betrayal, once done, echoes, that some fractures run too deep to ever be mended. She cried, begged, pleaded, but I had no tears left, no more chances to give. Time passed. I began to heal, not all at once, but slowly, honestly. I leaned on those who truly cared, those who had no hidden agendas. I walked aimlessly for hours, rediscovered passions I had buried beneath routines and compromise. I embraced solitude, learned to sit with silence. And in that silence, I found someone I hadn't seen in a long time myself. She reached out again eventually. More messages, more promises, more declarations that she had changed, that she was willing to fight for us. But this time, I didn't respond. Because I didn't need to. The version of me that stood heartbroken beneath a chandelier that night was gone. In his place stood someone wiser, someone stronger, someone who understood that walking away wasn't defeat. It was power. It was survival. And when, at last, she begged again, desperate, tearful, I finally knew what to say. No,